Hello everyone, this is day 3 of NRF. This is Omni Talk Retail. I am Chris Walton.
And I'm Ann Mazinga.
We are coming to you once again from the VusionGroup booth 5420. If you haven't yet, stop on by. Everyone's coming by. The booth is fantastic. You got to come and check it out if you're still at the show. And joining us today is Smita Katakwar, the Senior Vice President of Technology and Data at Wegmans Food Markets. Smita, so great to have you.
I'm so happy to be joining two of you. Looking forward to our conversation.
You had quite the morning here, getting here too, right?
Oh yeah, in conferences sometimes you have so many things that you want to talk about, look at it, you forget your badge.
You forget your badge.
Yeah, and they don't let you come in if you don't have that. So
yes.
I think I already covered 1/3 of my steps goal by now.
I think at this point in time, especially for a technology conference, why are we still having physical badges?
I can't understand that. I should have like a mobile wallet
Yes.
that you use at your check-in at your flights.
Yes.
It should be that easy.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, where's Amazon Palm scan? Let's scan in
Yes.
the palms to get into the show.
Yes,
whatever it
facial
takes.
recognition,
Yeah, right,
whatever it
right,
is.
Whatever it is.
I'm fine with that. That is a great point, you two. Yeah, I love
Hear
that
this,
idea.
NRF.
Yes.
We're here covering the show, but we're also talking about what improvements could be made.
100%. All right, well, let's start out. Like we always do this with all our guests. Tell us about your background and then specifically your role at Wegmans too. What is it that is entirely under your purview?
So, first of all, I will start with what Wegmans is. Wegmans is a 108-year-old food market. And
108 years old. Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
and that has a vibrant culture. It's consistently ranked as 25 best places to work in North America. It's a very people-driven company. We start with our people, and our philosophy is when you get things right for your people, they will take care of your customers, right? So that has helped us to remain one of the most vibrant food market. It's not just a everyday grocery store. You can find world-class cheese, seafood, meat, artisan bakery in our stores, and we solve your everyday meals needs and wants, not just for your everyday selection, but we also do catering. So we make your special events extra special.
Okay.
And in a very omni-channel way, you can use our Meals to Go app and put your catering order for your family events or your work events. And within Wegmans, my role, I generally conceptualize in 2 pillars, one bridge.
Okay.
Pillar 1 is customer experience.
All right.
Everything we do for a customer touch point in store, offline, at their home, online. The second pillar is employee technology. Everything we do for make job more meaningful and task simpler in our stores, in our supply chain, in our corporate functions. And to connect these 2 pillars, I have a team, we call them data and architecture team. They are the bridge. They connect the dots, come up with the common practices of integration, and infuse data in everything we do. So those are the 3 work streams I support at Wegmans.
All right, wow.
Well, and explain for me a little bit, based on those work streams, you spent a lot of time walking the floor, you said yesterday at NRF. What were some of the things that you wanted to focus on or prioritize looking into for the future of Wegmans and the types of technology that you might invest in?
I think we always start looking from the lens of customer.
Yep.
And when we are talking about technology, how we are mapping customer convenience, inspiring customer about food, and translate that into technical roadmap. So we are approaching this a connected experience mindset, and we were looking at more of a composable architecture. That's important for us to create those connected experiences and expand the definition of digital transformation. Digital transformation is not just about customer technology, it's equally important to put user design empathy for employee experiences.
Okay.
So we are working with one of the top smartphone provider to come up with the industrial grade mobile devices that will be provided to all our frontline workers.
Okay.
And we see that mobile device as the canvas upon which we can create intelligent applications. So the talking about AI and infusing within the existing capabilities is the three things: connected experience, composable architecture, and using a robust employee technology ecosystem.
So with all that in mind, and I love how you think about that from an omni-channel perspective. We were talking a little bit before about that even further before we got on this interview. I'm curious at NRF. So what's your approach to the show then, as you've outlined those, how you think about your job? Like, how do you tackle the show, so to speak?
Three ways I focus. One is have a very good deep conversation with your tier 1 partners.
Okay.
The top five partners, because you can meet their whole team.
Yeah.
And have a discussion about roadmap. It's a great time, January, so you have 11 more months
right.
in
Yeah.
the year.
Now's the time to do it.
Now's the time to do it. Talk about what kind of resource planning you should have both end, at your partners end and your within your own group. The second is purposefully select some of the peer panels and group, so you
Peer
can
panels, okay.
so you can share your highlights and lowlights about what your digital transformation journey. Sometimes people who are going through the same journey in a slightly different context give you that fresh perspective, so that's important. And third, have a theme-based walk around the floor.
Yeah.
So choose a 90 minutes and think about customer journey,
Right.
and go around the booths where you can start from discovery, inspire, fulfillment steps of a customer journey. Then take a break, capture your ideas,
Yeah, right.
Make some
Regroup.
notes,
Yeah.
regroup, and it's important to take a break and write down what were your aha moment, what was your oops moment, and what was like, it was too hype, it's not really prime time ready, right?
Right.
Then go for a second journey of employee experience based tools,
Okay.
technology, right? And then again take the notes about employee technology.
Okay.
And the next day, before you go any booth, try to connect dots.
Yeah, so
What
if
you
there's
saw
any connection points between those things that you saw.
Yeah, and then find what are the gaps you are finding to connect these two, and that's how you plan your day 3 and go for some of those booths.
I love that. Two things I'd point out specifically in what you said that I think are really great for our audience. One is, and we've heard this a lot at this show, and I remember last year you actually called out that it was absent, which is the focus on employees
Right.
and the technology that they need to
Right.
do their jobs better, and particularly from an omni-channel perspective. The second point I want to ask you about, because as an executive at Target, I used to run into this problem too. You said your top partners, right?
Yeah.
Do you limit it to 5? Because if you're not careful, your top partners can take up your whole day. Do you actually consciously say, I'm only going to pick 5 and that's it? Or is that just like a rough number that you're giving?
No, I try to limit my commitment for 5, and then we come as a team of 4 or 5, so we can divide and conquer,
Divide and conquer that way. So you're
right?
not in like every meeting. with
not
every
every
team, which
meeting.
can happen if you're not careful. So that's good advice.
Yeah, and not always I'm going to have all the context about all 15 partners, right? I can
Right.
do a very good homework for 5, not for 15.
Right. Great point.
Yeah.
Great point.
Smita, I think you should run your own, NRF should be hiring you. In addition to reformatting how we get into the conference, I think you need to be running a guide for retailers of how to attack the show.
That is
right.
the best example.
It is a
of how to
great
attack the show that we've
example
heard.
of
Yeah.
how to do that. So I'm
Yeah.
curious, based on what you have done, it is day 3, what have you found at this show to be kind of the foundational elements of omni-channel retailing that you're going to go into and approach in 2024?
Composable architecture.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are
that too.
we are big around that. Second, when we are talking about AI, it's a spectrum of capabilities, right? Gen AI has captured everybody's imagination, but there are other aspects of AI that is already embedded in our current platforms. So how you partner with your top 5 partners to co-create your AI roadmap, right?
Right.
AI is not going to be a solo journey, right?
Yes.
You need a co-creation ecosystem, and that's the theme number 2. And theme number 3 that I'm taking as a takeaway is around thinking through the data layer.
Okay, explain a little bit.
It's important for the company, which is especially the enterprises which are more than 20-25 years old. We have a very distributed set of your data assets, right? And before you can go to AI, everything, data is electricity for AI.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And getting all your arm around your data,
Yes.
how you will store, how you will transport it, how you will make the data sharing among systems easier is key. So you have to really think through the data as the foundation,
Yes.
and reimagine it for AI.
Yes.
So those are the 3 themes are my takeaways.
Yes, I love that data is the electricity for AI, because
That's
you're
cool.
so
That's a
right.
cool
I mean, it's going to continue to impact the results that we get and the power that it'll have to help transform our businesses. So,
And how do you do that? So we hear that a lot, like data is really the starting point or the foundation. Like real quick, if you could explain or maybe double click into what you just said, like for those watching, how do you get your arms around data? What are some of the things that an executive can do to understand that or also to take action on it?
Yeah, I think we have to think from 3 angles, right? Your first one is your tools, then second is your governance, and third one is your communication pathways among your data systems, right?
Great.
The first one about tools is we are looking towards lake house approach.
Okay.
So you have a stream of data getting collected and stored, but at the same time you have a certain aspect of your data set in a more structured way. So that's why the lake house combination, we are working with one of the top tier lake house provider.
Okay.
And then top of data layer, you need the virtualization layer, right? So we are again working with Microsoft Power BI for that, and our goal is the IT department will move away from being reporting factory to the provider of tool and kits and make data savviness as a skill that everybody in the company have versus role that a few people do.
Right.
Right?
And
So-
always at the end of the line of all the questions too, right?
Yes.
Which is not always a fun place to be.
Not first way.
Yeah, right.
And the third aspect is partnering with your partners, right? I cannot emphasize early on, whenever you're doing a new system integration or new feature integration, have the discussion about data sharing and data governance as your sprint 0.
That's right. Interesting. All right, so let's get you out here on this. So just closed up 2023. I'm curious, is there anything you're particularly proud of, any accomplishments you and the team made, and what are you most excited about as you go into 2024?
I think the most important changes we are doing is we are evolving how we work. Right?
Interesting.
We are taking a one agile mindset around all our projects, and really breaking down barriers that you are an IT team or somebody else as a business team. What we are organizing ourselves is, this is the mission behind this program, and all of us are bringing complementary skills to get a job done. And that approach and change, it required a lot of change management, helping people think differently about their day-to-day work. So that's what I'm most excited, that now the team is very empowered around a mission, and they are taking this one agile approach. And as somebody who's a curator of talent and technology, I think the number one job I do, improve how work is done.
Wow,
because that's
consistent. Yeah, it's great. It's been such a consistent theme of everyone we've interviewed at this show this year, which has never been the top of mind thing that's been expressed before. Yeah,
right.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's the year of focusing back on the team members.
Yeah.
I got to ask, we're going to go to Wegmans for the first time
Yes,
this
the
afternoon.
new store.
What do we have to
What
check
should we
out?
see?
seafood.
Seafood.
and cheese selection.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, we're not going to be the most favorable people on the plane taking seafood and fresh cheese home, but I'm going to do it because it's if it's as good as you say it is,
Yeah.
I've got to check it out. 100%.
I'm gonna have my lunch there, my late lunch there. I
Yes.
think, if all goes well too. So, well, Smita, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for giving us your time. Thank you for giving us insight into how you think about your role at Wegmans. It's really appreciated. I know you're super busy. Thanks for going back and getting your badge and still coming in with us too. All right, for all you fans out there, we're gonna be back with another interview right away. So stick around. And as always, Ann,
Be careful out there.